Hello and welcome to the Fat Boss Guide to Blade Lord Tyac 10-man heroic in the Heart of Fear.
Hello.
Yes, this fight has not really changed that much at all. It's actually the same. Nothing has been changed. Yeah. They've added one new mechanic.
It might sound a little bit disappointing, but the new mechanic is
quite cool.
It's quite cool, yeah.
But we'll cover that in a second. Now, if you haven't seen our normal mode guide to this fight, then please do go check that out, because we're not going to be covering the normal mode mechanics in massive detail like we did in our first guide. So do click up on the screen on the annotations. That'll take you over there, and then just come back, and then it'll all be lovely.
Now, for this encounter, you want to bring 2 tanks, 2 to 3 healers, and a mixture of DPS. And the reason why we sort of say 2 to 3 healers is that the enraged timer on this fight is kind of tight.
Yeah,
so you have to work that out yourself. If your DPS is far too low, then yeah, drop a healer and see how you go.
Now, as we said, the fight only does have one new mechanic, but something to really note is that all the old mechanics really do hurt. Like Unseen Strike, if you're not all in it, there's a chance that someone is going to die from it. The Wind Step, which puts a rend on everyone, that really fucking hurts. You can't spread that. It like ticks for like double the amount that it did on normal mode. So it's
basically you need to do the normal mode mechanics as well as you possibly can.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you do fuck up on them, then yeah, your healers are either going to struggle or you're going to die. And the new mechanic that has been added into this encounter is an ability called Blade Tempest.
Now, every 1 minute the boss will cast this Blade Tempest, and this causes him to spin around and pull everyone towards him, kind of like Cinder goes, except for, well, she don't spin around when she did it. She should have. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been absolutely amazing. But either way, he spins around, pulls everyone towards him, and then he then keeps dragging you in as well, and he also doing a massive amount of cleave damage. However, the dragon is just basically pulling you towards him, but you can run against it, and that's what you got to do, because you don't want to be cleaved by him. Now, what you really want to do is make sure that you're fairly close to the boss, because as he pulls you in and then he starts spinning, if you're already close to the boss, his pulling will do nothing, and you can already get a fairer distance away from him, so you won't get hit by any of the cleaves, because it does fuck you up quite a lot. So when you know this Blade Tempest is coming in, just make sure you're fairly grouped up. If you have 2 druids, it's so easy, because you're just going to stampeding raw. One person does it, then the other person does it. There's a 2 minute cooldown. It's a 1 minute cooldown for the actual Blade Tempest. You can just alternate these stampeding roars and then move out of it, and it's really easy. Just make sure you keep running until he stops spinning, and then just keep doing the fight as normal.
So once you've got the hang of this mechanic and you're managing to deal with all the other normal mode mechanics, it's important that you don't just transition the boss whenever you want. It's very important that you don't do that unless you somehow got quite lucky, because when you do transition the boss at 20% health, when you do knock him below 20% health, you'll get picked up by all these tornadoes and you get thrown to one side of the room. But as you're doing this, you do take ticking damage, and the ticking damage in the last phase is pretty high. So if you do go into the last phase with on like half health or something like that, the chances are is that you're probably going to die. So it's very important that you transition the boss without an Unseen Strike just gone off, or a load of dots up more than you should have. And it's probably a good idea, anyone that does have the dot on from the Wind Step, that you pre-hot them before you do actually transition the boss. Now, once you do have everyone all ready to start running into the opposite direction, you will be relatively low, and what we'd really recommend is that you heal everyone up as a group while you're all stacked up nicely before you start running to the other side of the room. It kind of depends on how well you're doing with the enraged timer, and if your healers are very mobile healers, then you don't really need to worry about it, because they can just heal you as you're running over to the other side. But we recommend that you do sort of stack and heal before you eventually do decide to move over towards the other side. And this particular phase, it's just
exactly the same.
Yeah, it's normal mode. Yeah. You just need to avoid the tornadoes, and if you want to use the tram lines at around 11% before the boss moves over to the opposite side, just so you can get there even quicker, then do that. That's fine.
Just make sure you're really healed up and use a cooldown as you go down those tram lines, because you're not going to be in range of the healers most likely. So it's a clever little thing you can do, though.
And that's more or less it.
Yep, it's nice and simple. One new mechanic. Just move out of it. GG. Hard mode, right?
So thanks for watching. If this guide did help you out, please do drop us a like. It helps us out quite significantly, and make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe.
And if you'd like to see any of our other 10-man heroic guides here by FatBoss, then please do click up on the screen now, and that'll take you over to them via the YouTube annotation system.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
That's wrong.